Okay, so just to clarify the right hand side that we've just finished, if I can get this into camera view. Okay, just to clarify the right side that we've just done, we chained 15 and then we did 1 single crochet in the second stitch from hook and in each stitch along, and then we did our pattern, which is chain 1 turn and 1 single crochet in front loops only in each stitch along, and then chain 1 turn, 1 single crochet in back loops only, and then in each stitch along. Then row 4 we just repeated row 2, and then row 5 we repeated row 3, but we did our chain 10, and we've continued along this way. We did rows 6 to 9, we just repeated rows 2 and 3 of our pattern. Then row 10 we just repeated row 2 like row 4. Then row 11 we repeated row 3 and did our chain 10, and then rows 12 to 15 we just repeated rows 2 and 3, row 16 we repeated row 2, row 17 we repeated row 3, and then we chained 10 for our button loop. Then rows 18 to 19 we just repeated rows 2 and 3 again. And then we started to do our shaping, but in reverse. So on row 20 we did chain 1 turn, single crochet 2 together, 1 single crochet in front loops only in the next 12 stitches. And then we did row 21, we just repeated row 3. Rows 22 to 23 we just repeated rows 2 and 3 for our pattern. Then row 24 we did chain 1 turn and then a decrease, single crochet 2 together in the front loops only, then 1 single crochet in front loops only for the next 11, which left us with 12 stitches. Then row 25 we just repeated row 3, and then rows 26 and 27 we repeated rows 2 and 3. Then row 28 we did chain 1 turn, our decrease of single crochet 2 together in the front loops only, and then 1 single crochet in front loops only for the next 10 stitches, which left us with 11 stitches. Then row 29 we just repeated row 3, then row 30 we just repeated row 2 again. And then what I've done now is I've actually sewn these pieces together, and what I've actually done is if we have a look on the inside, is I've done a 1 single crochet. I actually used a 4mm hook, which is like this, so it's a G hook, 4mm hook, and then I just did worked 1 single crochet just neatly to join both sides. And I've done that for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these ribs. So it's just 7 of the ribs, and then we have 7, it should have 7 at the top as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's literally dividing it in half, and then I sewed down there. But always make sure you do it on the inside so you can hide your ribbing on the inside. I mean, you may choose just to sew it together with a yarn needle, you know, whatever's how you like to work. I can't even speak. Whichever way you think is best way to work. And I've repeated obviously that on the other side. And then at the top, obviously we need to leave our armholes, and then we join it at the top, but I haven't joined it all the way across because I like to leave, you know, I like to leave a little sort of quite a wide neck opening. So I've just crocheted together 6 stitches, because obviously you can see the stitches when working at the top. So I've just joined together 6 stitches, and that's again working on the inside with 1 single crochet in 6 stitches from the outside to the inside. And then that gives us a nice open neckline. And I've also sewn on some buttons. Now I've decided to use some toggle buttons, which unfortunately I can't tell you where I got them from because I actually got them off my mum. So, but I'm sure you can pick these up in most craft stores or wherever you buy buttons from. Have a look on Google. It's always good to Google things. So yes, I've sewn on 3 buttons, and they need to be placed on the third rib. So you count that as 1, 2, 3, the third rib, and then I've sewn the button on. Then I've left 2 ribs, 1, 2, and then sewn it on the next one. Then I've left 2, then sewn it on the third one again, and this will match up with your 10 chains you did the other side, which also appear on the third rib. Then leave 2, and there was the third, leave 2, and then there's the third. So they match up nicely. You may choose to block your work, but for the sake of this video, to show you quickly, I haven't done that. So, and now we're going to work on the arms. What we're going to be doing for the arms is we're going to be chaining. Now these are 3/4 length arms, 3/4 length arms, so they're not completely down to there, they're going to actually be about there on our little toddler. So what we're going to initially do is we're going to chain 31 chain stitches, obviously not using the 4mm, we shall be using our 10mm, so it helps if you get the right hook. So we're going to chain 31 and work in exactly the same way of our pattern as we had for all the other pieces. So let's chain our 31. 2, 3, 29, 30 and 31. Okay, so then let's just unravel our work. And then what we're going to do is do 1 single crochet in our second stitch from hook. 1, 2, exactly the same as before. And then we're going to work 1 single crochet in each stitch along until the end. Okay, so I've just finished that row and we now have 30 stitches, and what we're going to do is then start working our pattern and what I keep calling rows 2 and 3. So we're going to do our chain 1 turn, and then we're going to work in the front loops only for this round. Also do 1 single crochet in the first front loop and then 1 single crochet in each front loop along until you get to the end. Okay, so we're just doing our last stitch on our second row of our pattern. Now we're going to chain 1 turn, and then we're going to do our 1 single crochet in the back loops only. Okay, so I'm just going to do the last stitch on our third row, like so, and then we can see that's the first little bit of our pattern there. And we're just going to continue repeating rows 2 and 3, then we're doing our chain 1 turn, and then working in, so the next row will be working in the front loops again. We're just going to repeat that until our sleeve measures about 8 inches. So what I'll do is I'll complete that and then I'll come back. I'm also going to need to do another one as well, obviously, for the other sleeve. So once I've done this and the second sleeve, we'll come back and then we'll have a look at how we're joining it to the main body. Okay, so I've been continuing this pattern, repeating rows 2 and 3. Unfortunately, I couldn't go until about 8 inches because I actually ran out of yarn. I actually introduced a different colour as well, but then ran out of that, so these have stopped short at about 5 or 6 inches, but I've completed. It just means the sleeves will be a bit shorter, but that's fine. You can choose to carry on a bit longer if you want to, just repeating the same pattern, but I've repeated that twice, and then we've now got our 2 arm pieces. So let's have a quick look at how this is going to fix onto our cardigan. So bring back our cardigan, and where you've left the sleeves, we're just going to fold these over, making sure we've got our ribbing on the outside, and we're then going to sew these sleeves onto the main cardigan. So you're just going to fold your sleeve in half, and we're going to sew up along here, and then we're going to sew around to join it to the cardigan as well, and then we're going to repeat that for the other side as well. So we just fold that in half, making sure the bottom seam's underneath, and then we're going to sew that along there and then around as well to join to the cardigan piece as well. And just make sure that your seams, if you're going to crochet it together with 1 single crochet or slip stitches, just make sure you do it inside out so that the inside, the ribbing is on the inside, but you can choose to use a yarn needle to sew it on, however you like to do it most. And then we'll come back once we've done that and have a look at the final piece. And there we go. So I've just sewn on the sleeves, and we have our finished cardigan. And obviously you can add lots of extras as well, like flowers or a nice sort of trim at the end, or a trim on the end of the sleeves. And you might want to make your sleeves longer or even taper them in. But this is just a really simple pattern to make a really simple cardigan. So, and this would fit a 1 to 2 year old. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you managed to follow that along. And yeah, if let me know your comments below. And thanks for watching. Bye.